Good evening. I feel like a total redneck wearing this trucker cap with the length of my beard as it is at the moment. I look very scruffy, but I've said that I'm going to grow it for 6 weeks and not touch it because I've got a bad habit of trimming it down way too short when I do trim it. Grow it for 6 weeks and then I'm going to get it cut. This hat was sent to me from the people at Moneybox, which is the investments app that I use. Funny story. I recorded a little rambling video a few months ago where I was just playing the ukulele, just strumming strumming away, practicing the chords and just talking about stuff. And I briefly mentioned that I was using the Moneybox app to do a bit of micro investing because I don't know much about investing, so this app seems like a nice little gateway into it. And underneath that video, people said that I was the most boring person in the world, and there was like a few comments just explaining that my voice could put people to sleep, and I understand my voice is boring. I've had to deal with it for many years. I assure you I'm not a boring person, it's just the way I sound. But I found it very funny that people were commenting on it, so I made a little video addressing the fact that people had said I was boring, and did like an in-depth, well, not an in-depth review, a deeper look at what the Moneybox app does and what I'm specifically using it for. Because people actually had comments underneath the old video saying that it's got like 2,000 views now, saying that they actually wanted to know how the app worked. So I did a bit of a deeper look into it, and Moneybox must have seen it, and then they sent me a hat through the post with a little note saying, "We don't think you're boring. Thanks for the review, the Moneybox team." So I thought that was very good. It's good customer service. That I appreciated it. It made me laugh. The whole ordeal made me laugh. Ordeal? That's a bit of a strong of a word. Anyway, I haven't really talked on here for a while, but tons of stuff's been going on. I have been flying the drone as much as I possibly can. At the moment I've got a yellow elastic band holding on the gimbal cover because the gimbal cover snapped. The little clasp snapped when I was transporting it somewhere. I use this thing so much. It was very expensive. It was a bit of an investment. I hope it turns out to be an investment. I would like to start making some money with it as well. I've got a couple of ideas for turning it into a business, which I won't discuss, obviously, because I don't want people to steal them. But I need to sit a course that allows me to then get permission from the CAA to fly. Is it the CAA? Civil Aviation Authority, to fly for business use. And then I'll be good to go. But I take it as many places as I possibly can. This weekend, Sean and I went out with Kyle to some of the waterfalls in Bracken. Kyle runs a touring company where he does like castles and coasts tour, and he takes people out around Welsh beauty spots. We're working on trying to film a little advert for him, and I'm getting some good shots. I could do with a bit more practice, and I could do with actually fiddling a little more with the camera settings to get the best quality images. But it's really fun, and we flew it around. We flew it along the river. We took it to Southern Down a couple of weeks ago and flew it out over the sea with the surfers. It's amazing. I just want to fly it as much as I possibly can. So at the moment I'm sat here watching like tutorials on how to edit photos properly on Photoshop. It's not the best camera. It is what it is. You can't add any more lenses or anything to it, and you can't change the camera out. On some of the more expensive versions you can actually put proper camera lenses on, which will obviously give you different shots. So the images I'm getting off here at the moment are very flat, so I'm trying to figure out a way that I can make them more interesting in post-production. But nevertheless, as a first drone, despite the expense of it, it's amazing and I love it so much. Sean and I are off to Courchevel in a couple of weeks time to visit her brother who lives out there. So I mean, that place looks amazing from what I've seen, and I haven't seen much, but I can't wait to take this out and get as many photos and videos as I possibly can of whatever we're going to be doing there. The place looks amazing. I just want to take pictures of lakes. So yeah, that's what's been going on at the moment. You can, if you so wish, go to my website, which is www.southwalesaerial.com. It's very bare bones at the moment, but I've started sort of piecing it together. It's essentially just a little showcase of some of the images that I'm getting. On the homepage, there's some of my favourite ones so far. This is the lighthouse down at Jackson's Bay. Very basic, like I said. It's just got a contact form if anybody does want to get in touch with me. I'm pretty interested in doing all sorts of stuff drone related. So if anybody is interested in seeing something from a different perspective, holla, get at me. I am more than interested in taking people out and showing them things. Eventually I want to get a set of the FPV goggles which come to use with the Mavic, which will let the flyer or whoever's flying with them see what the drone sees. I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to get a pair of those. What else do we have? There's a gallery where I put up, like, you know, my favorite photos from the... Whenever I'm out with the drone, I take a number of photos, and I always put the favorites up here with a little bit of editing. When I was first using it, I mean, these are the early images. They are fairly basic. I didn't really edit them. These are just the JPEGs that I pulled from the memory card. You know, this is a little bit edited in... I think this was probably either Photoshop or iPhoto. But now I'm sort of getting images like this, and I'm working a little bit more on them in Photoshop or Camera Raw, editing the raw images just to get some different effects. Slow learning process, but I'm getting there. But you can see here, see what I mean about the sort of flatness of it? It doesn't look like there's much depth in the image. So I'm working on it, but there we go. And there's a little blog where I'm working on writing as well. I've only posted up one blog at the minute, but I've got a couple more in the pipeline, a couple more ideas. Basically, I've always wanted a website ever since the internet became a thing, and I've never really had a reason to have one or a subject that I could talk about. Since I've bought the drone, I've become very interested in it, and I'd like to flex my writing muscle. I've got a degree in journalism, for fuck's sake, that I've never used. I probably shouldn't have even got as high a level as I did because I wasn't very good at it, but I guess I'm just naturally talented at bullshitting and doing essays. But it was something I was thinking of the other day. We were at Rami's house having dinner, and then Nev and Matthias and Rami and I were playing a game called Catan. That's inconsequential. But in the background I put on some music, and it was J Dilla's Donuts. For those of you who don't know, Donuts is an album that J Dilla made just before he died, and it's a seamless sort of loop. So that I think it's like 30 tracks or something on the album, and if you play it on repeat, it will loop seamlessly from start to finish, back into the start. Fantastic. It's not the best album, like musically, but the guy was amazingly talented, and apparently, I think I watched a few documentary things about it, about when it was released, and apparently he was in the hospital and he was working on his beat machine right up until a couple of days before he died, and he managed to get the album finished to a level he was happy with, and then he passed away. And it just made me think about content and creating stuff and putting things out. And I have wasted far too much time in my life not making things purely because I'm not happy that they're 100% what I want. And I think you can definitely get in the way of progress by trying to reach for perfection. There's actually a Michael J. Fox quote that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I saw recently, and it was something about I don't strive for perfection because perfection doesn't exist, but I can strive for excellence or something like that. But my point was, it was actually like a big thought process when we were listening to Donuts. I was like, this guy spent so much time just trying to get his album released, and then he died. Like, you know, he could have spent that time doing other things, but he was so focused on getting this thing out. And I can't even put up a shitty YouTube rambling video without criticizing myself massively. Or a blog post. You know, I've written blogs in the past about numerous things, and I've never liked them, and I've just ended up deleting them or whatever. But not this time. I think, you know, time's are ticking. Life is short. I'm going to just become what I want to be. And I want to be a writer. I want to fly my drone. I want to get healthy and fit. I want to swing the kettlebells. And I want to eat a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet. And I want to be the embodiment of everything that I've got in my ideals in my head. Big topic. But that's where I am at the moment. Anyway, go to the website if you want. Again, it's www.southwalesaerial.com. I designed this little logo. Click there, it'll take you to the homepage. Isn't that fancy? Click here, it will take you to my Instagram page where you can follow. I've actually, for the first time ever on an account, got more followers than I am following people. And again, these are all just images that I've liked from different shoots. I would love to see you there. Anyway, that's probably it for me today. I'm going to go and work on editing some photos that I've taken and play around on Final Cut Pro as well and see what stuff I've got for Kyle's advert. But in a nutshell, and again, I'm not saying my whole life's going to change and I'm just going to become a carefree person who just goes around doing whatever I want to do and putting out a bunch of shit. I do want to put out things of quality, and the quality of things that I'm putting out is improving. But the point is, I think it was Amelia Earhart that said the most effective way to do it is to do it. And if you don't do it, you never get the feedback, you never improve, and you never get the things done that you want to get done. I'm going to leave it there. I did record this video a couple of days ago, but realized that when I set up my scene changes in OBS, that the microphone was only plugged into the one scene. And then when I went onto the website, it was just me clicking around. You couldn't hear me saying anything, even though I was saying particularly interesting things. That's it for me. I'll speak again soon. I want to make more of these videos. I want to make more videos about this as well, and maybe a couple of, not tutorials, because I'm not the most knowledgeable person, but just a few videos with my experiences of using it. Anyway, hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.